लिंक डाल दें कोर्स का। Hi guys, welcome to this session. I'm taking a session on XAT 2024, the quants section. I'm trying to show you. I mean, as you know, XAT is the next big exam after CAT, and XAT में होता क्या है कि you have to make sure that you basically there's a simple formula to sort this at, and that is basically that if you can basically balance each of the sections and essentially 35 75 marks का typical paper होता है, तो out of that if you can score 35 marks, 35 plus marks, 1 mark per question, you would be sorted in the ZAT. And for that, to get to 1 mark to get to 35 marks, the basic philosophy is around 6.5, 7 पे sectional cutoff होता है each section का. So there are 3 sections in that. There's verbal, there is verbal and LR they call it, and then there's decision making, and then there is quantitative aptitude. So Q and DI are together in that. So when you're doing the ZAT paper, the basic philosophy is that okay, you have to clear the sectional cutoffs. The sectional cutoff 6.5, 7 के बीच में रहता है हर section का. तो if you try to score 6.5 marks only, so it becomes you're cutting it too fine. So your target should be around 8 to 9 marks in each section. So 8 to 9 marks, if you can score in each of the sections, you're already between 24 to 27 marks overall. And from 24 to 27 marks overall, jumping to 35 means you need a delta of around 5 marks in 2 sections. So you target either if quants is a strong section, then you target the quants and the decision making section to add those extra 5-7 marks, which will take you to 35. If verbal is a strong section, then you target verbal and decision making. So at Arun Sharma Academy and Mindworkzz, we are doing a couple of a few courses which are coming up specifically for that. One of the courses is the ZAT crash course, which is a complete course in which we are giving you the basic videos. There are various features of it, the full basic videos of quants and verbal, complete decision making workshops, and also and also arithmetic and algebra workshop that I'm taking for that, as well as verbal workshops on RC poem RCs, as well as verbal ability by Meenakshi ma'am. So these list of courses are there. So links for these courses we'll put on the to buy the courses we'll put on the video later. So without any further ado, today what I want to do is I want to show you ZAT में होता क्या है कि the questions are quite high quality. The questions that you face and solving in ZAT is if anything sometimes tougher than solving getting marks in the ZAT paper is sometimes tougher than getting marks in the CAT paper because of how much they ask you to do in a question. So I wanted to show you through these sessions on YouTube. Maybe I'll just do 15-20 minute sessions, and I'll do it regularly over the next few days, so that we can over a period of 5-6 days, if you follow the videos that I'm doing, you will get a fair idea of what kind of questions they are and how do you get through them. So without any further ado, today I'm starting off with ZAT 2024, the quants DI section, and I'm trying to show you how to what kind of logic will get you through those questions. So let's have a look at this first question. So this is the first question, and of course ZAT mein one thing you have to understand is that ZAT is a 165. I mean it's a long paper. It's a 3-hour paper. So 165 minutes is the solving time for, if I remember correctly, for quants DI, and for the 75 questions of quants reasoning, we are verbal and reasoning, and the decision making section. And essentially it's 75 questions, 165 minutes. So more than 2 minutes per question is the ratio, which is different from CAT, because CAT mein you were doing 22 questions of quants in 40 minutes. So you had approximately 1.7 minutes per question. So there's more timing, but they eat up that time by giving you questions like this, like the first one that you see here. And इसमें होता क्या है कि you have to I mean the reading time is of course longer, and the reading time is longer, and because the reading time is longer, it takes more time, and also the logic, what logic is being used, it sometimes becomes difficult to understand. So let's have a look at this first question. What is the kind of structure this thing? And I want to show you exactly through uh, these sessions. I want to show you exactly how you get the score and how you get. I mean, what kind of work you have to do to get marks in that. So this question starts with in a small college, students are allowed to take only one specialization. Traditionally, only two specializations are offered: science and arts. So this is something you should note at this point, that there's science specialization and there's art specialization. Okay, what else? Students enrolled to specialize in science must take physics and mathematics. Students, while students enrolled to specialize in arts must take economics and political science. So what they are saying is if you go for science, you must take physics and mathematics. And if you're going for arts, you should take economics and political science. So this is the reaction at this point. There's nothing to do with this. The variables are starting to come up, but they are still unnumbered, non-numbered variables. So we'll just keep going. Students enrolled in science are not allowed to take either economics or political science. So these guys have to take these two, but they cannot take these subjects. The science students cannot take these subjects. The art students cannot take these subjects, as the next statement says. So recently, the college has started a third specialization called MATICO. So they have started a third specialization called MATICO. So this is a new specialization that has come up. And that requires students to take economics and mathematics. If you take this specialization, you will take economics and mathematics. And MATICO students will not be allowed physics or political science. So no physics, no political science for these people. When the college opens this new specialization for enrollment, it allows students originally enrolled for science or arts to switch to MATICO. So there are switches obviously going to happen. Where does the question go from there? The last part of the question says, from among the students originally enrolled in arts, 20 students switched to MATICO. So from here, there's a switch of 20 students to MATICO. This makes the number of science students twice the number of art students. So this means that if the science students now, after this 20 is x, 2x, the art students now must be x, which means we started with originally x plus 20 art students. This is the meaning of this. We started with x plus 20 art students, 20 have shifted out, now we have got x art students, and we've got 2x science students. After this, from among the students who originally enrolled in science, 45 students enrolled, switched to MATICO. So now we have assumed the total number of students in science to be 2x. And this 2x and x is before, and so this is the next thing that happens. So 45 people. So that means 2x minus 45 people are there now in science, because 45 people out of this get transferred to MATICO. Right? This makes the number of art students twice the number of science students. So what they are telling me is that after this transfer, this is twice of this. So you have an equation. This is, and in this question, the main thing that they wanted, or the main skill that is required, was to understand the fact that you have what variable you're dealing with and how the variable is rolling out as you start going through with the information in the question. So they've given you a ratio here. Please trust the question setter. He'll give you enough information to find out answer to what he's asking you. So what he's saying is x upon 2x minus 45 is 1 by 2. So if you solve this, sorry, x by 2x minus 45 is 2 by 1. मैथ्स में वही होता है, दुर्घटना सावधानी हटी दुर्घटना घटी, मैं 1/2 लिख दूंगा, पूरा मेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग खत्म हो जाएगा. सो 2/1 है ये रेशियो. तो इस इक्वेशन से, वन सिंगल इक्वेशन, सिंगल अननोन, क्लास 7th में हम लोग इसको सीखे थे सॉल्व करना. सो उसको यूज करके यहाँ पे तुमको मिलेगा x इज इक्वल टू 4x minus 90, which basically means 3x is 90, तो x का वैल्यू 30 आ जाएगा. So this means you have originally 60 students in science and you've got 30 plus 20, 50 students in arts in the college. So what are they asking us? In total, how many students from amongst those enrolled in science or arts are now taking economics? तो कितने स्टूडेंट्स इकोनॉमिक्स ले रहे हैं? तो अभी सिचुएशन क्या है, यहाँ 15 लोग बचे हैं, ये लोग इकोनॉमिक्स नहीं ले रहे हैं बिकॉज दे आर ओनली साइंस स्टूडेंट्स. ये जो एक्स लोग बचे हैं, these 30 people, ये सब इकोनॉमिक्स लेंगे बिकॉज दे आर ऑल इन द आर्ट्स स्ट्रीम. And the MAT-ECO, 65 people have joined MAT-ECO, 20 from arts and 45 from science. So all these 65 will be taking economics. So and overall, इस तरह से भी देख सकते हो, overall 110 लोग हैं. There are 110 people to start with, out of which 15 people are not going to take economics, which means that we are going to have 95 people who will take economics now. So that's why 95 is the correct answer and option B is the right answer here. So this is the thought structure required. Sometimes you'll see that the entire thought structure is almost half or 1/3 of what a CAT DI set requires, especially the kind of sets that are given this year. इसमें इस सेट में तो रीडिंग टाइम भी बहुत लंबा था. ऑप्शन बी राइट आंसर था इसका. लेट्स लुक एट द नेक्स्ट वन नाउ. तो इसमें ये क्वेश्चन सिंपल है and shorter, of course. And I'll do around 5-6 questions today, and we'll do this in a series. So I'll be coming live almost every day for you guys. And just spread the word around. Help me get more people watching this. The cost of running a movie theater is rupees 10,000 per day plus additional 5,000 per show. The theater has 200 seats. A new movie released on Friday. There were 3 shows. So this means that the cost of the movie theater is 10,000 plus 5,000 into 3. The total cost is 25,000 for a day. There were 3 shows where the ticket price was rupees 250 each for the first 2 shows. So 3 shows, each show had a capacity of 200 because that's the theater capacity. And the ticket price for the first 2 shows was 250 rupees. On the first show, 250 rupees on the second show, and 200 for the late night show. So for all shows together, total occupancy was 80%. That means out of 600 people, 600 seats, 80% accuracy was for all shows together. This means that 480 people saw the movies. Question being asked is maximum amount of profit possible. So you have to understand the condition that maximum amount of profit will happen if the 250 rupees tickets are maximized and the 200 rupee ticket is the residual part. So our approach will be 200 people because the cost is fixed at 25,000. So for maximization of profit, it has to be maximization of revenue. For maximization of profit, it has to be maximization of revenue. So when I'm talking about maximization of revenue here, when I'm trying to talk about our maximization of revenue here, you can see what will happen here. So maximization of revenue will happen at 200 tickets sold in this show, 200 tickets sold in this show, and 80 tickets sold in this show. So the total revenue will be 50,000, 50,000, and 16,000. So 1,16,000 is the total revenue. 25,000 is the cost. So the total profit, the maximum profit is 91,000. That's the correct answer to this question. So this is your second mark in this paper, so to say. If you can think, keep your head still and think clearly, you'll start getting these answers. This is a very good question and requires a lot of good quality thinking. The question says the flight traveling to a destination 11,200 kilometers away was supposed to take off at 6:30 a.m. It was supposed to take off at 6:30 a.m. Due to bad weather, the flight departure of the flight got delayed by 3 hours. So that means due to bad weather, it took off at 9:30 a.m. The pilot increased the average speed of the airplane by 100 kilometers. So you had an average speed of S. Now his new average speed is S plus 100. To reduce the overall delay to 1 hour. So basically what is happening is if this was the time at which he had to reach, he started 3 hours late and reached not at this time but 1 hour later. So the less time that he was spending here, 3 hours, is increased by this 1 hour extra. So basically, if the time taken here is t hours, this time will be t minus 2. So you have two equations, s into t and s plus 100 into t minus 2. Is equal to 11,200. So now this is essentially a quadratic. This is essentially if you continue the mathematics in this question, you'll end up going quadratic in this because what you will be doing is essentially replace s or t, replace t by 11,200 by s here, or you replace s with 11,200 by t here. One of them you replace, and you'll get s and t. You'll get a quadratic equation in s square in terms of s or in terms of t. You can solve that to get s or t, and then look at the next part. Once you know s, the question is asking, had the pilot increased the average speed by 350 kilometers per hour? So that means he's going at s plus 350. At what time will he reach? So you are trying to, based on these times, you're basically trying to find the time he takes at s plus 350 so that we can work out how much time it takes. And from 9:30 a.m., we can add that time to get the time at which he reaches. So essentially, the key now is to find S. So one approach for finding S is to go into the quadratic equation. You'll end up with S square and so on. The other approach to do this is to try to think of factorizing 11,200 before looking for factors of 11,200. Look for factors of 112. Right? So because obviously if he's going to reach at these times, the value of t is essentially going to be 10, 12 hours only, 10, 12, 15 hours maximum. Right? So we are trying to look for s, the speed on a higher side. We cannot have time as 400 as 300 hours or 200 hours and speed as only 56. वैसा तो नहीं होगा. So it's since he's reaching the same day at 350 kilometers higher, we are essentially gut feel is that the numbers are going to be such that the speeds are going to be in hundreds and time is going to be in some number of hours, 10, 15, 20 hours. So we can, instead of going through, I mean, one approach is, I mean, the solid approach, of course, is to go into solid approach में तुम इसको S को 11,200 by T से replace करोगे. That's the maths approach. 11,200 by T से replace करोगे S को. S को 11,200 by T से replace करोगे और यहाँ पे insert करोगे T में, या T को, सॉरी, T को 11,200 बिकॉज मुझे S का वैल्यू चाहिए, तो T को 11,200 by S से रिप्लेस करेंगे, यहाँ पे डालेंगे और मुझे उसके बाद एलसीएम लेके जब मैं S स्क्वायर के टर्म में आ जाऊंगा So then I'll get a value for S. So that's of course but that approach is there, लेकिन ये बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा, बहुत tedious हो जाएगा. So what is the faster approach? 112 को सोचो. 112 जो है वो 4 into 28 है, which basically means that it is 7 into 16. So if I think about 7 and 8 as factors, 112, तो यहाँ पे 16 आवर्स है और यहाँ पे 14 है. So this fits my situation perfectly. The only change I have to do is this is 700 and this is 800 and this is 11,200. So I'm quite sure the XAT question setter knows that this kind of thinking is available here. So you immediately get speed as 700. You get the speed as 700. And now the speed is 1050. So उसके बाद बहुत simple question है. तुम साढ़े 9 बजे सुबह चल रहे हो 1050 के स्पीड पे, तो कितने बजे तुम्हारा 11,200 किलोमीटर कवर होगा? So all you have to do is find the time of 11,200 kilometers divided by 1050. Just find the time of this. So this will be 21 and this will be 224, which is again divisible by 7. So this will become 3. This will become 7 से डिवाइड करेंगे तो 32 हो जाएगा ये. So 10 hours, 10.66 hours or 10 hours 40 minutes आ रहा है इसका वैल्यू. And if you're starting at 9:30 a.m., 9:30 से 2.5 घंटा 12 हो जाता है, 7.5 घंटा 7:30 होता है, तो 10 hours is 7:30 p.m. and 10 hours 40 minutes will become 8:10 p.m. So the correct answer is option C, which is 8:10 p.m. Right, so this is how you solve this question. So this is the structure of thought required in this question. Let's do two more questions, which are again quite, this one is an easy one compared to the others. इसमें तुमको सिर्फ logs के formulas पता रहने चाहिए to be able to do this question. इसको करने के लिए you just need to know the formulas of logs or know the structure of formulas of logs. So इसमें बोल रहा है log to the base 5 x minus 2 is equal to 2 times log to the base 25. Now 25 is 5 square. 2x minus 4. So if you use the theory of this, that log to the base a raised to b, log c to the base a raised to b is equal to 1 by b log c to the base a. If you use this theory and this logic, ये 2 बाहर आ जाएगा and we'll divide this 2. So you're going to have the right hand side as log 2x minus 4 to the base 5. So this is a simple trigger and reaction in this question. और यहाँ पे तुम्हारे पास log x minus 2 to the base 5. So if you remove, take anti-logs on both sides or remove logs, you get x minus 2 is equal to 2x minus 4. इसको solve करोगे तो you will get value of x is 2. Now, what is the question asking? The question is asking how many different values of x does the given equation hold? So the problem is that if I put x as 2 here, this becomes log 0 to the base 5, or here becomes log 0 to the base 25, or 2 log 0 to the base 25. So essentially, log में the basic formula or the basic फंडा अबाउट लॉग इज दैट लॉग का जो आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है log x to the base y, x का वैल्यू हमेशा पॉजिटिव होता है. इट कैन नॉट बी 0 और नेगेटिव. So this means that the value of x equals 2, which is coming out from the equation where LHS and RHS are equal, this does not hold for the logarithmic equation. Hence, that's the only value of x we are getting. Hence, the correct answer is C equals 0. Option C, which is 0, that there are no values of x where this equation holds. So this is the fourth question on this, and one more question we'll do today, and we'll continue this session tomorrow evening. Look at this question, the fifth one. In a school, the number of students in each class is from class 1 to 10 in that order are in arithmetic progression. The total number of students in class 1 to 5 is twice the total number of students from class 6 to 10. So इसका रिएक्शन ये है कि अगर मैं 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 करूं, class 1, class 2, all the way to class 10. This is class 5. This is class 6. So, and this whole, all these numbers are in AP, and this is double this. So the first reaction you have, इसका पहला reaction है कि the AP is a decreasing AP. Because numbers छोटे होते हैं जाएंगे तभी तभी ये part उसका double है. And then दूसरा reaction है कि अगर इसको मैं A plus D, A plus 2D ये मानना शुरू करूँ सब terms को, तो I'm going all the way to A plus 9D for the 10th term. यहाँ तक हम लोग पहुंच जाएंगे 10th term तक, right? And then the question says, so और एक reaction और है इसमें. That reaction is because the sum of the first 5 is double the sum of the last 5. It means that the average of the first 5, which is the third term, will be double the 8th term, because this is the average of these terms. This is the average value of these terms. So if I think about A plus 2D as the third term, then A plus 7D is the 8th term. The sum of these 5 numbers is A plus 2D into 5. And the sum of these 5 numbers is A plus 7D into 5, because that's the middle term, and middle term is the average of any AP. So ये 5 term जो AP में है, इनका average A plus 7D है into 5. और बोला क्या है कि this divided by this is equal to 2 by 1. So the 5 will cancel, of course. तो तुमको मिलेगा क्या? A plus 7D upon A plus 2D is equal to 2 by 1. So if you solve this is one equation, two unknowns. So if you solve this, you'll get a relationship between A and D. What is the relationship you get? A plus 70 is equal to 2A plus 40. A plus, sorry, उल्टा लिख दिया मैंने फिर से. सावधानी हटी, दुर्घटना घटी. Same logic. This is 1 by 2. So be very careful in solving, because इस सब प्रोसेस में एक स्टेप में कुछ गलती कर दो तो पूरा क्वेश्चन गलत हो जाता है. तो इसमें क्या आएगा तुम्हारा A plus 14D is equal to, sorry, 2A plus 14D is equal to A plus 2D. That gives you A is equal to minus 12D. तो तुम्हारा जो AP है वो है minus 12D minus 11D, because A plus D हो रहा है यहाँ पे, minus 10D minus 9D minus 8D minus 7D and so on. Minus 6D minus 5D minus 4D minus 3D. This is your AP. And they've given you one more information, which is all you need to find D now. And that information is total number of students from class 1 to 4 is 162. व्हाट दे आर सेइंग इज कि इसका सम 462। तो ये जो सम है वो 12, 23, 33, 42 -42D है। -42D इज इक्वल टू 462। तो D इज इक्वल टू -11। So -12D is equal to 132. And anyway, हम लोग को ये नंबर चाहिए। क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है सिक्स टर्म, क्लास सिक्स में कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं। तो मुझे -7D का वैल्यू चाहिए, D का वैल्यू -11 है। तो -7D will be 77. That's why the correct answer to this question is option A. So you can see one thing you can see in the XAT paper is that the questions are layered, and they you open one layer, then the second layer, and the third layer before you get to the marks. So they are actually protecting the marks much more than some of the CAT questions protect the marks. So that's one of the reasons why XAT में difficult है score करना, और 30 marks भी बहुत strong हो जाता है. But of course, decision making is much easier to solve and go through. We are taking a complete decision making workshop on Arun Sharma Academy and Mindworkzz. So you can join that workshop. The links are will be provided to you in the uh, uh, in the uh, uh, description of this video. I will also put it on the chat of this video, and I'll see you tomorrow. 5 questions we have done. कल हम लोग 5 क्वेश्चन और करेंगे, 5 to 7 questions और करेंगे। वो next 2-3 days will cover the entire paper for you. Right? I hope this was useful. I'm sorry, मुझे for some reason chats नहीं दिख रहा है. I'm sure some of you have been chatting with me, but for some reason मेरे को chats नहीं दिख रहा है। कल से मैं अपने फोन पे रहूंगा साथ में, so that I can see the chats and talk to you along with that. So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and do share your comments, and any queries you have on the chat. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Thank you so much.